I'm hooking you up with a little digital gift today, and what that means is normally on these IGTV sort of tutorial things I go very conceptual and hit one thing. What we're going to do today is what I think of as the just enough practice, and what that means is just enough to feel good, to feel embodied, to feel energized, to go and engage in whatever the day has to offer. So this is something that is great, like for example, if you're on vacation and you're going to do like a bunch of outdoor stuff and you don't have 2 hours to do a full practice, but you want like 20 minutes of movement to just feel good in your body and to kind of get your head right. If you travel a lot, this is something you can refer back to. It's an ongoing, ever-evolving mashup of functional range conditioning and yoga practice. I would love to hear from you at the end how it feels and what the benefits were specifically for you, and if you have any questions around any of the concepts that I cover in this practice. So this should be accessible to a wide range of ability levels. This is something that I use, this type of practice, for example, if I'm going to go skiing for the day, or if I just don't have very much time and I have a lot of work that I need to do that doesn't involve movement or physical activity. This is something that I would do in the morning just to kind of get my head right in a short period of time so that I can feel really good about what I'm doing for the rest of the day. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a tension exercise, which is something that I've integrated from functional range conditioning systems. Start with your feet a little wider than hips width distance apart, and this is essentially to activate musculature in your body, turn on your neurology, and learn how to stabilize. Grab the floor with your toes and start to push into the floor with your feet and push the floor outwards and feel how that engages up into your legs. Now, slowly start to curl your fingers into fists. I'm going to look crazy when I do this. And as you do this, each exhale, I want you to ramp up tension in your body. So when you get to full fists, feel now that you're about 60%. And then next exhale, squeeze a little tighter, take it up to 70%. And then push the floor out with your feet, reach outwards with your fist, take it to 80, keep squeezing, 90, tuck tailbone, close front ribs, move the back of your head back and stretch your crown up. And now get to 100, and at this point your nervous system might cause a little bit of a shaking sensation as you completely engage. And then slowly ramp down to 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, and release. That massive amount of force created inside your body should already make you feel kind of nice and relaxed. Now, ramp back up to about 60% tension. So I want your lower body active, core active. So what that means is that from the side, I want you to go from anterior to more of a neutral pelvis so that we control the rib cage, and then you can isolate the different parts of the body that we'll work on to prepare for some of the other things we'll do. So keep your arms straight. For this one, I like fingers spread. Bring your chin to your chest, and then slowly drag your chin along your collarbone over to the right. Reach up with your chin towards the ceiling. Make the biggest circle you can to your left shoulder, along left collarbone, chin to chest. Pause here. Check back in with your abdominals. Pull them in. And then take your chin, bring it over to the left, up towards the ceiling, over to the right. Chin to chest, pause, pull your shoulders back again. This time, take chin to the right along right collarbone. Make the biggest possible circle with your chin up towards the ceiling. Reach to the left. When your chin comes to your chest, pause. And one more time, go to the left, chin to the left, up towards the ceiling. Keep reaching up with your chin so that you move all of your neck spine. And then bring your chin to your chest. Lift your chin, look straight ahead. Imagine there's a wall behind the back of your head and move it slightly backwards. Bring your arms to your sides so your arms touch your body. Keep your legs solid, and again, tailbone down and forward, and ribs not open like this, but bring your ribs together. And now we'll isolate your scapulae. So bring your shoulders up to your ears. Notice if when you started to do that, your elbows started to bend or your ribs flared. Keep your arms touching your body. Bring your shoulders back and squeeze them together. Drag them down, forward, all the way up, keeping the forward, and then back and together, all the way down, forward, up to your ears, and then change directions. Now go forward, down, center, back, up, forward, down, squeeze shoulder blades together, and then relax your arms. by your sides. We're going to move right into a little bit of hip mobility work. This is a controlled articular rotation of the hip. We're going to do this with a balancing element today, just to get a little bit more neurological firing in your body. So stand on your left leg and contract your left thigh so that you have a stable base for your balance. Bring your arms out to the side and make tension in your arms. You can bring them lower if it helps you to balance. And then from here, bend your right knee so that your right heel comes to your butt. Suck in your stomach. I want you to keep a flat lower back. Bring your knee to your chest as high as you can. And then bring your knee out to the side. When you can't bring your knee out to the side anymore, this is called external rotation. Now rotate the outer edge of your foot up towards the ceiling so you start to create internal rotation of your thigh. Keep the internal rotation, reach back, draw a circle with your knee so that your knees come together. Now check in with your lumbar and your core, and again, tuck your tailbone so that you're isolating hip extension. Reach back with your heel without unbending your knee. Take your knee, bring it up towards the ceiling, leading with the knife edge of your foot, and then again, bring your foot underneath your knee and thigh up to your chest. Knees come together. Let's do one more of those. Keep tension in your arms. Bring your thigh to your chest, knee out to the side, knife edge of foot towards the ceiling. Keep drawing a circle with your knee without losing the stability of your lumbar spine and lower belly. And then reach back with your knee. You should feel stretching in the front of your hip out to the side. When you can't bring your foot any higher and your body starts to want to compensate by lifting this hip, that's when you bring your foot under your knee. Knee comes up and in, and then set that foot down. Stand on your right leg, contract your right quadriceps, grab the floor with your toes, pull in your belly. So just to reiterate this pelvic stability piece, when you do these hip movements, make sure that your back is not doing this. You want to keep a really strong lower abdomen and strong butt so that you make your back as long as possible. So the idea is to isolate the movement of your hip. Arms strong, right thigh contracted. Bend left knee, bring your knee to your chest, knee out to the side. When you can't bring it to the side anymore, start to rotate your foot towards the ceiling. It's okay if your knee has to come down for your foot to rotate up. What I don't want you to do is that. So we'll start over on that side. Knee to chest, knee out to the side, knife edge of foot towards the ceiling. Keep reaching back in a circle with your knee till your knees come together. Pause here. Take an inhale. Exhale, tuck tailbone, reach your heel back like a donkey kick. You should feel stretch in the front of the hip and work in the back. And then reach your foot towards the ceiling, knee towards your armpit, knee to your chest. Pause, knees come together. Again, bring your thigh to your chest, keep your belly in, knee out to the side. Rotate knife edge of foot up, feel that your thigh rotates in as you reach your knee back so your knees come together. Pause here, inhale. Exhale, reach back with your heel. Out to the side, bring foot under knee, knee to armpit, and then to chest. We're going to do one more each side now that you sort of understand the movement a little bit better. So standing on the left leg, you can also take one hand and put it on your lower back to help you have a little bit of stability. So to feel really that you're stabilizing with your core. So I'll turn to the side for this one. Right hand on tailbone, left arm out to the side, knee up, knee out to the side. Foot comes towards the ceiling. Keep reaching your knee back in a wide arc. Bring your knees together. Pause here. Now here it feels like my knee is way back behind me, but the reality of hip extension is that it won't be. Reach back with your heel, up with your foot and knee, tuck, tailbone, bring thigh to chest. And then I'll show you the other side from the same angle. Right arm out to the side, stand on right leg, left thigh to chest, left knee out, rotate foot up, reach back with your knee, pause, reach back with your heel, complete the circle, good, and come back to center. So the next piece that we're going to work on is a combination of some leg strength and hip mobility to continue to warm you up with thoracic spine circles, which in functional range conditioning are called thoracic controlled articular rotations. A really nice but also sort of torturous way to do these is in a horse stance, because the horse stance helps you to keep your lumbar spine stable so you can isolate your upper back, and you get the added benefit of some burn in your legs and some mobility work in your hips. So I'll start facing forwards. Step your feet apart and then bend your knees until your thighs are parallel to the floor. And when you do that, the temptation is going to be to bend your knees by sticking out your butt, but in a true horse stance, feet point forward, and then you strongly tuck your tailbone so that your lower back remains straight, and then you lean back a little bit, but lean back without arcing your lower back. And then from here, just give yourself a hug. You can put your hands on your shoulders or just on the front of your shoulders, depending on the length of your arms and the size of your biceps. From here, round forward so that you're flexing your thoracic spine. And then drop your right shoulder to your right hip so that you flex laterally. From there, stay in the horse stance, keep the tuck, and start to twist to the right. And you'll feel that because you're in horse stance, you're not able to turn your hips, which is great. Once you can't turn to the right anymore, reach up to the ceiling with your elbows, but not your face, and feel for a little back bend in your upper spine. And then over to the left, into the twist, left shoulder to left hip, chin to chest. We'll do 2 more in that direction. Right shoulder to right hip. Start to turn to the right, elbows to the right. Reach elbows up to the ceiling. I know it doesn't look like I'm back bending my upper spine, but it feels like it does, which is what counts. Over to the left. Left shoulder to left hip. When I go this way, I feel a really nice stretch up through here. And then chin to chest. Now pause and we'll go the other direction. Bend a little deeper. Tuck your tail. Left shoulder to left hip. Elbows to the left. Tuck. Reach up to the ceiling, over to the right, right shoulder to right hip, round forward, left shoulder to left hip, twist to the left, lead with your elbows, stand up tall, up to the ceiling, over to the right, right shoulder to right hip, and then come on up. You probably feel your legs and your hips as well as your spine, which is great. For the next piece, we're going to combine more of a lunge warm-up and activation with some shoulder mobility work. So step your left foot forward into a short lunge. You may need to pad your knee. And as you're doing this, tuck your back toes so that you have the ability to sort of reach through your heel to move your hips forward. And what we're doing is sort of just using the efficiency of 2 different movements to create a little bit more heat in the body. So push backwards with your heel in order to take your pelvis from anterior to more neutral or posterior tilt. And with the front foot, pull a little bit. Now, left hand on your left knee, and I just want you to grip your left knee to make a feeling of tension and strength in your left side. Right arm by the side of your body, pull your right shoulder back, sweep your right fingers forward and up, keeping your right shoulder retracted. When you can't reach back or up anymore, start to rotate your biceps forward into internal shoulder rotation or internal rotation of the upper arm bone. As you do that, reach back in a wide circle, and when your arm comes by your side, your palm should be facing away from you. Pause here, recommit to your legs, pull your right shoulder back, and then push the air back with your hand and unscrew your arm back into external rotation, which means your tricep comes forward. Pull your shoulder back in its place, and then slowly bring your arm down. Bring your left knee down, step your other foot forward. Basically 2 90-degree angles, right leg and left leg. Reach back with your heel, pull with your right foot, and keep doing those 2 actions until you feel that the thigh of your back leg is working and also lengthening. You should also feel a sensation of your left butt engaged. I just sort of creepily held onto my butt for quite a while. Right hand on your knee, pull on your knee, and use the pull of your hand also to help you pull your hips forward and underneath you. Pull left shoulder back, sweep your arm forward and up. When you can't reach up and back anymore, rotate your bicep in a wide circle. Keep reaching backwards as you continue to internally rotate your upper arm. When your arm comes by your side, pause, pull your shoulder back, push the air back with your palm, sweep all the way out. As you do so, rotate your tricep forward into external rotation, and then pull your shoulder back and slowly bring your arm down. So again, this practice is really not about like a massive amount of acquiring new mobility or new range of motion. This is just enough practice. We're sort of touching on things so that you can move through your day in peace and happiness. Let's prep the wrists a little bit. Come onto your hands and knees and turn your hands around so that your fingers are in reverse or facing backwards. And a funny story about that is that I had a student in one of my recent teacher trainings named John, who's a wonderful Southern man with a beautiful accent. And we do a lot of this reverse hand position. And I would always say, turn your hands around, or think of different ways to explain the position. And one day in the teaching lab, he just said, fingers in reverse. And I just thought it was the coolest and simplest way to say it. So ever since then, I've been saying that. So shout out to my buddy John. All right, so line up the inside of your wrist so it matches something straight like the front of your mat. And if this is like really hard for you to do, or if your wrists are sensitive, you can walk your knees very close to your hands so that you take the weight out of your wrist, but you can still work into the range of motion. Now start to press into the ground with your palms, your knuckles, and your fingertips. And by doing that, you should feel that you're getting a little bit more intensity in the stretch in the forearm side of your hand. And also notice my spine. Notice that I'm not like arching my back or collapsing in my spine in order to take the pressure off my wrist. Keep enough action in your belly and press down with your feet so that you keep your spine neutral. And then look a little forward. Keep pressing down with your fingers and feel for lifting the back of your head up. As you do this, continue to press down with your fingers and just feel for pulling the mat apart so that you get a sensation of broadening across your collarbones. Take an inhale and push down harder with your fingers for 3, 2, 1. Now hold your breathing and try to lift your fingers off of the ground without doing anything else. And I know I sort of tricked you into that, and it was a little bit cruel because that should intensify the stretch. But what that's called is a regressive angle isometric. So what that does is it works the muscles on the opposite side of what you're stretching so that you develop an active range of motion, ability to control the range of motion that you have. Press down again with your fingertips, and now maybe you can lean back a little bit more. And if we're really focusing on improving range of motion in the wrist, we would do this for longer. But again, this is just a little bit of prep for the other stuff that we're going to do. Inhale into your belly. Hold your breath for 1 moment, and then try to lift your fingers, and you should feel stretching straight up through your arms, all the way maybe into your chest. Keep your chest broad. Try to lift your fingers for 3, 2, 1. Good. Kneel down and interlace your fingers, and you can just roll through your wrists a couple of times just to sort of forget that I made you do that terrible thing, which is actually really good for you. Place your hands down on the mat, and then step your right foot back and your left foot back until you're in a plank pose. And then from plank pose, bend your knees and lift your butt and come up into downward facing dog. And so I like this bent knee dog because the bent knee dog allows you to get more length through your back for most people. So if you bend your knees a little forward, at the same time you can stick your butt a little up and then close your front ribs and go into the knuckles of your hands and really push the floor away until it feels like you're not trying to hold yourself up, but that by pushing down with your knuckles and pushing down with the balls of your feet to lift your hips, that you can lengthen your back. And that's really why you see dogs and cats do stretches like this, not because a yoga teacher told them to hold it and survive it, but because the push of the hands and the lift of the butt and the closing of the ribs gives you a nice stretch through your back. Look forward, step your right foot inside your right hand, put your back knee down, and then bring your arms up. We'll do a short variation of a sun salutation. From here, exhale, put your body on your leg, and push with your front foot to lift your butt. Keep the contact of ribs to thigh. Reach your fingers as far forward as you can, not back here, forward. And straighten your front leg only as much as you can keep body to thigh contact. Inhale, put your left hand down, bring your right arm up, and twist up towards the ceiling. Exhale, place your hands down, step to downward facing dog, and keep the measurement so that when you inhale and come forward into plank, your shoulders are right over your wrists. Exhale, go back to downward facing dog. Look forward so you don't step too short. Inhale, step your left foot to your left hand. And the measure for this, if your foot is inside your hand, Your knee should fit right in your armpit. And if you look at my lunge here, you'll see that from my knee to my knee is a straight diagonal with no bend this way or no sink too far this way. And then push with your feet. Inhale to bring your arms up. I always like to do the first one slow so that you can understand the pattern. Exhale, body to your leg, lift your hips, pull with your fingers, heart and eyes forward. Inhale, bend your left knee, take your left arm up, and take your twist with your right leg straight. Exhale, hands down, step to dog pose. Here we go. Inhale, bring it forward to plank. Exhale to downward facing. Inhale, look to step your right foot forward. Keep inhaling to bring your arms up with your arms straight. Exhale, body on your leg, fingers forward, and you fold it. Keep the contact of body to thigh. Inhale, left hand down, right arm up. Pull with your left hand to twist. Exhale, push with both hands, step to dog pose. Inhale, bring it forward to plank. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Look forward, inhale, step your left foot to your left hand. Push with your back foot, push with your front foot to bring your arms up with your hips right in the center underneath you. Exhale, body to leg, hips go up and you go forward. So your butt goes up to take you forward. Inhale, right hand down. Left arm up. Notice I keep the angles of the lower body when I twist. Exhale, hands down, step to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring it forward to plank. Exhale, take it back to dog. Inhale, right foot to right hand, knee down, bring your arms up. Exhale, and you fold forward for 2, 3, 4. Inhale and twist for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, all the way back to dog. Completely empty your lungs. Full inhale brings you forward to plank, or you can stay on the balls of your feet, lift your chest, and take it to upward facing dog as long as it doesn't hurt your back. Exhale to downward facing dog. Look forward, inhale, step left foot to left hand, bring your arms up. Pull right hip forward. Exhale, body to legs. Fingers go forward and out to the sides to fold. Inhale, right hand down. Left arm up for your twist. Exhale, take your hands, put them down, step it back. Last round. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right foot steps. Keep inhaling all the way to a full 4 counts. Eyes on the horizon. Exhale and you fold forward with your body on your leg. Eyes still forward in front of you so that this is a fold. Inhale, bend right knee. Turn your heart, turn your head without turning your hips. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, bring it all the way forward and through. Shoot your heels back. Exhale, take it back to dog. Inhale, take your left foot, step it forward, put your knee down. Stretch your arms up towards the ceiling, eyes on the horizon. Exhale and fold forward, eyes forward, butt up. Inhale, bend left knee, left arm up for a twist. Exhale, hands down, step all the way back to downward facing dog. And then stay here for a moment. Look forward at your hands, lift your fingers so that you can really find the pressure of your knuckles. And then from your knuckles, lift your butt. Close your ribs. And then take your right hand and slide it back just 6 inches so that your right middle finger is in line with the base of your left wrist. Keep your knees bent. Take your left hand, put the palm of your left hand on your right heel so it fits like a ball fits into a mitt. And keep both knees bent so that you have a seal between your body and your legs. Fit your left knee to your left armpit, left hip towards the ceiling, chin to right armpit, and then pull with your left hand and push with your right hand so that you can twist. Take your left hand and put it down. Remove these blocks so that you can see what my grip is doing. Take your right hand to the outside of your left heel. For this variation, it's crucial to keep your knees bent so that the feeling is that my right knee moves forward for my right butt to go up, and then turn your chest to the left. One more like that, right hand down. Left hand to the outside of your right heel. Chin fits armpit, knee fits armpit. Find your knuckles and push them down. Exhale to turn a little more. When you turn, your hips stay stable so that you're really like turning on a spit. Left hand down, right hand to the outside of left heel. Bend your knees enough that you can step right into your palm and turn your chest. Know that you're pumping the lung on the side of the hand that's down and flushing the kidney on the side of the hand that's up. Take both hands, walk it back to a regular dog. That should feel a little easier now. Maybe you can even straighten your legs without losing the tilt in your pelvis. Close your ribs, push the floor away, and look forward. Step your right foot to your right hand. Keep your back leg straight. Take your fingers, crawl them as far forward as you can. And once you do that, press down with the ball of your right foot to slide your right hip back. So feel how your right foot is like the rudder that steers your hips. It's almost like you back bend your right butt. And then reach forward with your fists and unfold into a lunge. And then from here, grab your elbows and feel for the diagonal reference from the ball of your left foot to the ball of your right foot, and how pushing in opposite directions with those 2 feet will actually help you keep your hips in the center of the posture. Bring your eyes to the horizon, control your breathing, and feel the work of your legs underneath you so that you can reach and rise up with your elbows and a little bit with your chin. Bring your back knee down. Now, take your right hand and put it down inside your right foot, again with your fingers in reverse. For this one, point your left foot. Feel that your right knee presses your right shoulder, and press your right shoulder into your right knee equally so that it's a really even and equal boundary. Left hand to your hips. You got ready your coccyx, and feel for turning your left hip forward like you're turning the steering wheel of a car in a clockwise direction. Keep your hips stable and turn your chest up towards the ceiling so that you twist against the movement of your left hip forward. And then from there, take your left arm and bring it straight up towards the ceiling so that you have a straight line from wrist to wrist. Notice that I'm taking my upper arm and rotating it externally so that instead of flailing my arm back, I twist from the heart, and then from there, you can make it a side angle variation. And when you do that, feel for a really nice stretch up the left side of your lower back. Slightly bend your right elbow, push into the floor, and use that push to turn your chest and then reach around the clock with your top arm. Think that your left hip moves to 9 o'clock and your left fingers go towards 2 o'clock. Keep your right hand where it is, bring your left hand down so that you can take your left foot and step it back into position for warrior 1. Keep a long stance so that when you bend your front knee to 90 degrees, your knee lands right over top of your heel. Left hand to your lower back. Feel for back bending your right hip. Look forward, not just with your eyes and your nose, but with your pubis, the base of your spine, your navel, your sternum. And then keeping the closest rendition of 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock in your hips, or squaring your hips that you can. Turn your chest up towards the ceiling, and then take your left arm up. So it's a slightly more demanding variation of the previous pose. And then as soon as I get here, I just go and explore the territory of my inner body. So I go to my right foot, I go to my left foot, I go to my left hip, and then I turn my chest, and you can take the whole pose and reach it around the clock. Press down with your right hip, so right hip moves back, and then back bend it and reach it. And then again, feel for that nice arcing stretch at the left side of your lower back. Bring your hands down, and step back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, come forward into plank pose. From here, just place your knees straight down on the ground so that from your knees to your shoulders, you have a straight line. Keep a strong tuck in your tailbone. Grab the floor with your fingers and slowly resist the floor the whole time, pulling your shoulder blades together and away from the floor so that when you hit the floor, it's all of your body at exactly the same moment with your shoulders still as high as your elbows are. Take your hands, bring them forward about 12 inches for a low cobra. Press down with your feet and tuck your tailbone. Inhale, keep the strong tuck in your tailbone. Start to pull with your hands. And instead of looking forward with your face, move the back of your head forward and up and arc your front ribs forward so that in this variation of the Cobra, we're working into just a bit of upper spine extension without too much low back compression. So retuck tailbone, pull with your hands, and exhale, pull yourself longer while reaching your feet back on the way down. Bring your hands down right underneath your shoulders. Pull underneath your elbows, pull your shoulders away from the floor, and then from your feet or your knees, in a straight line, push yourself up to plank, and then downward facing dog. Look forward,
Step your left foot to your left hand, bend your back knee down. Keep your toes tucked, and then straighten your leg. Use the ball of your front foot to move your left hip backwards. Keep a strong back leg. Reach forward with your fists, and then simply unfold your upper body. Hold your elbows and feel for pressing your elbows into the palms of your hands, and feel how that gives you a little bit of a lift. Cross-reference your feet from the ball of left foot to the ball of right foot, and feel that your hips and the whole alignment of the posture is not static, but it's a constant exploration of the grid that you've placed yourself on. So the pose is not held. Instead, it's back in your foot, it's forward with your front foot, it's out and up with your elbows. Bring your back knee down, left hand down, inside left foot with your fingers in reverse. Bring your right hand to your lower back, and use your hand to feel how you can angle and orient your hips so that you twist off of a stable base. Push down with your left hand to start to turn your chest to the right, and then you can take your right arm and bring it up for a twist. Take your arm and rotate the upper arm so that you come into external rotation. And at this point, I feel already a stretch here and a length in my low back. From the twist, you can make it a side angle, but remember the parts of the posture that you can't see. For example, find your right foot, press it down. Your left knee, bring it into your left shoulder, and your left shoulder against your left knee. Because like everything in life, a boundary is a two-sided agreement. It's like a deal that you make. It's not one person pushing the other. It's two people agreeing where to meet. So left knee, press left shoulder. Right hip, roll forward. Turn your chest and then reach. Put a yearning for freedom in the pose. Reach with your top arm. Bring your right hand down. Turn your back foot, so it's like warrior one. And when you do these warrior one postures, my advice is not to line up your heels, but instead to go more towards the actual width of your hips, because you are not a two-dimensional being. And then take your right hand, put it on your low back. Notice how I use my right hand, not so much to just push my hips forward, but more to make a spherical rotation, as if my right hip is trying to continue to turn around the clock to the left. That's me driving the bus. Press with your left foot, reach back with your right foot, turn your heart up towards the ceiling, bring your right arm up. And remember, this is a constant exploration of territory. Your hips won't be perfectly square, just like mine are not perfectly square, but the ongoing exploration, the ongoing orientation is the radical act of embodiment of being, becoming the posture, really, making the posture personal. Take your right arm over top. As you do that, wrap your top shoulder so that when you reach, you also twist. Make an arch in your right foot. Press left knee into left shoulder. Roll left hip back and right hip forward. And reach around the clock. Turn your chest. Feel how you can use the outer edge of your right foot and the inner edge of your left foot to make space in the right side of your lower back. Bring your hands down. Step back into downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, walk your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands. Bring your hips, feet hips width distance apart, bend your knees a bit, and then grab your elbows and just be in a hang. Bend your knees forward so that your butt can go up. So from the side, notice that I'm not prioritizing straightening my legs, I'm prioritizing the fold. And I'm thinking more that my butt goes up and my elbows go down. Being in a forward bend is a little bit about getting over yourself, learning to go in. So this is a nice moment to connect with your breath, to slide your front body down your legs, to feel the intensity of what you've done up to this point and sort of let it settle while also addressing the intensity of the sensation in the back of your legs. Bending your knees is a conjunction. It's like, and I can keep doing this. And even this is not static. You can rock a little forward to the balls of your feet. Imagine your knees go in and your butt goes out. Feel that a part of your knee goes down to the arch of your foot and a part of your knee goes up to your butt.
And you can magic square your feet here, which is a really nice technique that I learned from my friends in Katona Yoga. So for 1, go to the center of both heels, just like let your weight go to the center of both heels. And then for 2, go up to the balls of your feet. For 3, go over the tops of your feet to the middle of the outer edge of your foot. For 4, go up to your pinky toe mound. For 5, go to the center of the underside of your foot. And when you go to each subsequent place, keep the awareness and the sensation of contact of the previous. And from the center of the underside of your foot, go to the inside of both heels. And then from there, go up to the middle of your arch. And then go over the top of your foot to the outer edge of your heels. And then shoot all the way up to the third eye of your feet in between your big and second toe. Release your hands, let them drop to the floor. And then slowly roll up your spine.
Nice. So we'll close with a little bit of pranayama. So for pranayama, I like to sit up quite elevated. Takes the pressure out of my knees. And what this does is it allows you to have an elevated seat, which essentially means that you rest on your perineum, which is your third foot, or the foot of meditation. And while that sounds esoteric, realize that a breath practice is somewhat esoteric. And in a practice of elevation, the idea is to be at a right angle relative to the earth. So think of a plumb line. Like if you drop a plumb line in diving, you take a weighted line and just drop it into the water and it will always go straight down. So imagine as you set yourself up in your seat here, that through from the universe, through the crown of your head, through your center channel, your spine, through your perineum, all the way down into the center of the earth, you have a straight line. And you can think of this even from a purely physical perspective. If your body is folded cleanly and neatly like origami at your hips, at your knees, then you have less pressure in your back and you're able to sit up more tall. You have your lungs in the front of your body, which just simply means that you're not hunched over, and you have better access to breath. So this is the my personal favorite position for meditation. From here, bring your arms up into a V and make your hands into little cups so that you can receive grace. And then bring your arms back so that they're in line with your ears. And through your nose, pump out 100 breaths. Keep going while I talk. Keep your breath pumping. Keep your arms straight. Roll your armpits towards your heart, even as you're pumping your lungs, and you might feel your shoulders getting a little bit tired. Feel that a part of you is rising up through the crown of your head, and a part of you is going down to the center of the earth. Feel that from your left knee to your right foot, you have a diagonal, and from your right knee to your left foot, you have a diagonal. It crisscrosses underneath your base, and then from that base, rise all the way up, and bring your arms back. And let's do 20 more breaths so that you have an esoteric boundary, so you don't just do it until you don't feel like doing it anymore, so that you really do it. Let's do 10 more. Exhale everything out. Bring your arms up. Cross your thumbs. Take an inhale. Hold it full. Squeeze everything tight. Lift your perineum so that no energy escapes. Feel the intensity on the inside of the posture. Through your nose, exhale up out the top of your head. Close your eyes and turn your palms up in your lap. And let your breath cascade down around the sides of your body. And inhale up the back of your body. Imagine fire rising. Feel how it sort of bristles at the base of your neck. You feel heat over the top of your head. Exhale down the front of your body. Imagine that water descends the front of your body like rivulets of sweat all the way to your base underneath you. And then inhale up your back. Fire rises. The metaphor is that fire is effort. Effort is fire. It takes effort to make a fire. When you get to the top of your head, exhale down the front of your body. Water is grace because it always finds the deepest point, the point that needs it the most. When you go into your deepest challenges, you found your most grace. Again, inhale up your back. Imagine fire rising. For me, this image almost always manifests as the anger and the frustration of the past. And then exhale down your front and know that the future holds potential for grace and ease. And this time, go underneath yourself and inhale straight up the center channel of your body to the top of your head. Now, see yourself in meditation and exhale out through every pore in your skin in every direction and see yourself in the center of a big sphere of breath. This time, bring your awareness to the center of your chest, and from that point, inhale outwards to the circumference of the sphere of breath that you created on the previous breath. And then leave your awareness at this ever-expanding sphere in your imagination, and exhale, just your breath goes back. So there's still this ethereal sphere around you. Again, from the center of your chest, inhale out. Feel for filling a sphere, I think almost like those glass-looking helmets that the astronauts wear, but all around you in a really big, broad shape that's actually permeable. It's not hard like glass. And then exhale back to the center of your chest, and as you exhale, see the outline of the light left by your breath in the sphere that surrounds you. Inhale from center of chest all the way out to your personal circumference, behind you, underneath you, to your sides, in front of you, and above you. Exhale just your breath back to the center of your chest. Then relax your belly. Relax your eyes in the wells of their sockets. Relax your breathing and let it move by itself. Relax your belly a little more. That can be a hard one. Let go of the visualization even. Let your breath move as it wants to move, and at the same time, see if you can experience the next breath cycle from the beginning of the inhalation all the way through the end of the exhalation. Follow your breath as a conduit to connect to the present moment. Use the feeling of breathing. It's okay to feel your body too. Maybe you feel your knee, your hand, maybe there's a heartbeat. Feel this broad constellation of sensation in your body. See if you can feel it sort of all at the same time, equally. You might hear sounds or see lights behind your eyes. All of that is part of your consciousness. You don't have to ignore anything, just give everything its equal attention. If a thought comes up, acknowledge it as a thought, and you might even say, "Thank you, I'll come back to you later." And begin again in this moment to observe sensation, sound, and breathing. Just like your breath expanded in the visualization to the width and volume of the imaginary sphere, feel how your consciousness is broad and vast. You can experience your breathing and sound and sensation all at once. For the last 30 seconds. Try not to do anything. Take an inhale into your chest. Slowly open your eyes. I forgot how steamy it gets in this yoga room so quickly. Thanks for practicing along. I hope that this practice was useful. Feel free to refer back to it whenever you just need to get a little something moving. And please let me know how this went if you have any questions about anything that I taught in this practice today. I hope that whatever comes next in your day, that it goes well for you.